Good morning, everyone. My name is Alex, and welcome back to Mod Update 3 for the bigger project that I have going on right now, the 5020. I've put the P16 on hold for a bit, where I'm going out of town to do some farming with a friend. I don't have time to work on both, so I thought that I would do another update video this week for you guys, so you could get a clear understanding of where I'm at, what needs to be done, and what's still left to do. So we'll start off with the most basic thing. So a lot of the comments I had last time were wrong wheels and tires. For those that don't know, I want this mod to be on consoles. That's the big hubbub. To do that, I need it to be correct in certain ways. Certain tire brands are not allowed. I can't run Firestones. So a lot of tires I cannot run. A lot of the tires that you guys have seen me play around with on streams and in videos and everything like that, those are not the tires that we could put to consoles. So this is a more accurate representation of what can actually go. So on our wides, we have 870 R38s. I know the factory tire size is 34. The scale of this is kind of weird. We've done our best to bring it into scale, but using the tires that Giants has, the 34-inch rim size, they don't have anything that looks right on this tractor. So it's a mix of a bunch of different things. A lack of tire choices from Giants, lack of me having all the knowledge firsthand. So biggest things that have changed: the tractor has been stretched now. It's longer overall. I think I was like 2.5, 3 inches short. So I took from the hood this line here, this line, and moved it forward. So its length is now correct. We put a big post up on Classic Green, and everybody gave me all kinds of measurements. There's not a lot of documentation on this. I'm trying to make this as accurate as I can be, because there's just not a lot out there. You guys have to understand that whenever I started this project, this started out as a different mod, and it's no longer that mod. Every single piece is brand new. I thought, whenever I was using it on the Comlance, I'm just gonna tweak these couple little things and it'll be fine. No, this started as throw it in the trash, remodel everything. You guys can follow my posts on Patreon. They're there showing models and such and such. I will try to update it more and more. Thank you guys that have supported me on there. I wasn't expecting it, but hey, thank you. So yes, more onto the tractor. Things that have changed. Again, overall length, wheels and tires. Right now, I have roughly 80 different tire choices. Some of them are implemented in the XML right now for this little video. Some of them are not. There's still a lot to go. Everything that you're going to see today in white has not been touched. These are parts that need to be completely remade. They're low quality. There's bad parts. Okay, so if you see it as white, it is brand new. Well, it's old but needs to be remade. If it's green or yellow, it's done. If it's any other color, then it's probably in the process of being worked on. So I changed up the driver's console, added a little bit more space in between there to make it look like it was actually detached. If I go ahead and hop in here, we have changed around the dashboard to be more correct for this period. I took away the chrome around the gauges, and now the gauges are going to be sunk in. Those still need to be made along with the needles so they work correctly. I've remade the light switch, which was this guy down here, a new key, the key holder, your ether button, I think is what that actually is. PTO clutch handle is all new, steering column is new, and the hand throttle is new, and we'll get more onto that later. So those are the current other new parts. We also have a new clutch pedal, and there will be a new double brake pedal over there as well. So that is where we're at there. Now, the thing that everybody's probably going to go is like, what's this? This is a stripped down version of the 12V71 that's in the Pacific P16. I modeled that engine, and I cut 4 cylinders off of it. So it's that same model right now, just shortened. I wanted to get it in here to kind of get an idea of how everything's going to fit, and you can see it doesn't really go that well. I can understand now why the Kinze frame rails are different, so I'm glad that I have those pieces separate, because they're going to need to be changed. I'm also going to have to do some work with the transmission bell housing and stuff like that. So this is just throw it in there, get it in game, see how it all fits together, and see what we're going to do. If you guys have any reference photos of a Kinze 5020, please link them to me, or on the Facebook post, just post away, please. I need more reference than the 2 that exist and the Renner Stockyards one. Nothing against that one. I really, really like that tractor, but I need more detail than what that gives. The vents are new and correctly done. I just need to start hopping in here. So we have the correct textures. I was going to do a pass-through texture, but I've already exceeded my self-imposed limit on the number of polygons I want in this model. So I'm not going to model the what's in behind here, which is like your air cleaner and fuel tank and radiator and condenser and everything. I'll have a radiator panel here, which you can see is all hanging out and just being chilly, but that'll be basically all that you see. There is a limit to what I can do. So there's that. Brand new lettering for the John Deere, and these are 3D objects. As you can see, they look fairly good. I need to fix this. The texture didn't stick, but it's going to be the same texture that's on the side panels there. The biggest ones, this took a long time to make. The front axle was an absolute bear to get good reference for, and this is only the first one. And you can see I haven't even made like new knuckles or anything for it. It's a very organic shape, and it was kind of difficult to make. So it's been stretched and reformed and everything like that. And I want the steering linkages to actually linkage together and turn. There's like a plate that goes up in here that goes down to your tie rods for the inners, and then those steer the outers. That's how it works. So I want that to be a thing. So I needed all this geometry to be somewhat correct. Is it 100%? No, it's not. Is it going to work for the game version? Yes, it will. You can still see I have some artifacts from the old one still hanging out because I'm a dummy and forgot to delete it. So you can tell how much of a difference in modeling technique there is between old and new. So totally new front standard axle, I believe is what they call this, is the standard. And then we'll have the adjustable front end. And then there's also a different one, but I don't know how I want to go into that. It's like an adjustable, and then the height difference is a lot, and all this other stuff. I've been trying to do a lot of shading contrast and texture differences with some of these parts to make them pop a little bit more and draw your eye. So you're going to see bolts that are here and there and everywhere as we go through these that are silver or another color, simply to draw your eye. I want it to be pleasing to look at. So yeah, these 2 bolts would probably be painted John Deere green, but then they just kind of go in, where now you're kind of, you're looking at it as its own deal, right? Yeah, you can definitely tell I pulled this out of the P16. The oil filters are sticking out the side along with the coolant filter. So there is that. Okay. Now, what does it sound like? It sounds like trash. Really, I think. This is a modified P16 sound file. I've just tried to lower the pitch to bring it into a more of a V8 sound. So I've got it hooked up to the Kinsey. Let's lower it down. Also, you guys can see that I was able to remove and have it work correctly, the 3-point, and we'll get into that into the store options here in just a second. So yeah, this is what she sounds like. She ain't got that scream, but it needs a lot of work. This is not where I'm going to stop with this. So if we were to lift this up, it ain't got that. There's Detroits make a certain kind of howl that you get used to hearing after a while. The P16 is basically spot on for a 12E71. So hopefully I'll be able to get there with that. So let's go ahead and shut this guy down, and let's hop into another tractor here. So this is the row crop fendered version. Again, white parts have not been touched and are in progress. The 3-point now is completely done. The only thing I have left to fix up is the new drawbar. It needs a lot of detail on a hammer strap put in. So I know some people say, well, it just goes onto the bar and then it's pinned and all this other stuff. For all the attachments that are in Farm Sim, it looks better if you have just a small hammer strap. So that's what this now looks like. There was also a couple other things, so we go ahead and start it up on the inside here. We have a fully animated clutch pedal and a hand throttle. Now, I don't know if this is the right way around or not. I've been watching some videos, and it looks like you bump it down to give you RPM. So I'm not 100% sure, but that is fully animated. I'm moving it with my Xbox controller right now, so it's dependent on how much you pull. And the throttle, or the clutch pedal, works how you think it would. So there we go. We got our foot on it. We can back up, and then he puts it away. There we go. Just like a modern mod. it's crazy how things get whenever you actually pay attention to them. All right. So let's run down the line here really quickly. So. Front weight needs work. This was just a no front weight version. This is the logging ROPS that we made in the last preview, and it needs a little bit more love. I did make some steps. This is for all the row crop tractors. I remade all the steps for the tractors, and they're a lot more detailed, but somehow have less polys than the other ones. I don't know how that happens, but how do you take 4 squares and have more polys than this? I don't know, but they did it. So, but these are a lot better looking. I put a lot more detail into them. We've got all the shadow casting and everything that we should have, and nice little bolts and stuff like that. But yeah, the roof needs a little bit of love. I want to possibly do something more there, kind of make it look a little bit better, add some extra bins and things like that. The Wheatland config, again, no rear 3-point. Now, this is selectable, and again, we'll get to it in the store here in just a second. But the Wheatland stuff is done, except for I would really like to add the steps for back here. If I can get the time to do them, I will. This has like a massive swinging drawbar in this kind of configuration. I don't know if I'm going to have time to make that or not. If I do, awesome. If not, I'm sure that this is fine. I hope that you guys will find that a-okay. But yeah, we have our electrical and hydraulic hookups. All that works. We'll go through that in just a second. Our ROPS, again, I haven't even touched it. You can kind of see how bad the texture, or well, not even texturing, but the modeling is. You can start to see all these serrations and everything. It's not a good look, fam. So this needs to be adapted as an option to work on this cab or this cab. So I need to do that as well, and that means these lovely little panels need to be in 2 different places. So basically I have to make this thing twice, one for the Wheatland cab and one for this. This is the Henniker cab. I haven't done much to it. It's in Blender right now. I'm basically just using it as a template at this point. It's not in a good state. I want to say that this thing was made for 4020 and needs a sufficient amount of love. Nothing fits. It's not wide enough. It's not tall enough. It's not anything enough. It doesn't bolt upright. Nothing adds up. So that's just being used as a template. And then the Krenlo cab is the Krenlo cab. It's the same one. I haven't even touched it yet. This one's going to take a lot of time to make. I want it to be very detailed. Okay. So other things that we can look at. Okay, I picked this trailer specifically because it has a lot of lines and options and everything like that. So it has like these steering arms that go back to the axle. I think I might be able to add that as an option that won't be too hard to go on either side of the hitch. I'm thinking about that because I know a lot of people would like to pull around a trailer like this with something like this. If that's what you want, that's what you want. But yeah, you can see that we get our hydraulic lines. They get all hooked up and go where they're supposed to go, but no air lines because this tractor doesn't have air and it doesn't have an ISO bus or anything like that. So those don't get run like it should be. Yeah, that's basically the hitching process and how that looks in that. Now, into the store. So you're going to find this tractor. We moved it from small into mediums, and I've condensed everything down to one. If you guys remember the original 5020 mod that's been floating around since FS17 that this thing originally came from, it was like 4 or 5 different files and just a giant mess. So you'll come into here and you go, okay, I want no weights, stack weight, or single weight. I want row crop, wheatland, forestry, Krenlo, Henniker, umbrella, and ROPS. But the ROPS is going to move down to 2 different things. One thing that a lot of people wanted, and I wasn't sure how to implement it at the time, but I did get that working, is the choice of different whether or not you have the 3-point or not. So this works with all the options, so we can get a ROPS with nothing or everything. It even works with the cabs for whatever reason. Like, I don't know why you'd have a cab without a 3-point, but hey, I'm not one to judge. So this kind of brings it in light of how much work I have to do on these cabs to make them correct. Lots and lots of work to go there. So let's do something without that. Little umbrella canopy, and we've got 3-point. We can add the front loader. So currently this has the Great Bend 760 front loader. I'm going to change that over to a Miller, and the reason I'd like to do that is, one, I know like how a Miller operates, and they have a remote that goes inside of the cab that I really want to utilize. So I think that might be pretty fun to do. I've never done any of that kind of work, so should be pretty interesting. So right now we have the Great Bend. We'll take a look at that here in just a second. And then engine choices. We've got our factory 8.7. Again, not the engine that's coming with this. Not this model of engine. I mean, it's technically a 4-cylinder. There's not even intake runners for 6 cylinders. I'm not even joking. We have the turbo variant, which adds a spanking new little turbo up top there. We have the 8.1, which is still a 7.6. I haven't renamed it yet. This is out of the 4755. I thought that was a fun engine to have in the game with a turbo. This makes 175 horsepower, and I think it looks kind of spiffy. And then we have the Kinsey in its very, very bare bones kind of deal. So let's put this guy in it. Then we have the wheel and tire choices. So this needs to be broken down into different sections. So you get a wheel choice and a tire choice. There's so many different wheels that I would like to include. There's like 3 or 4 just for this tractor. The front hubs, don't worry, those are getting changed over to other ones. I just have they're in modeling right now. But yeah, we have the standard wheels, and then with weights, and then duals, plowing duals, and then we get into different types of tires. So 4 ribs with the same kind of options, 5 rib. And then we get into the super singles on 3 ribs, 4 ribs, 5 ribs, with weights. And you can see, like where I've started moving these sliders around. So this is the only one that has the tires and wheels in the correct place, where they need to be to get the stance looking correct. So that's kind of where we're at. So let's go ahead and buy this guy. And then if we go down here, and again, all this is in one file, and we go to here, and I want to change this color to green and black, and we'll buy you. And shut this one down. Because I understand the last time that I did this, I didn't really do a lot of, showcasing the tractor moving around or anything like that. It was very much early. So if we drive up here, I should be able to hook onto that guy. And I want these, whenever this is working, I want the SCVs to be plugged in to the front loader, because you only got your up and down and your dump, right? So I'd like my 4 SCVs to be taken out by this whenever I get it done. But yeah, I don't really like how this thing sits in there. Like, there's no front support or anything. This is going to go in the trash. I'm going to make a Miller. I really like the Miller stuff. Probably a, what do they call it? A PL12 or something like that is what we'll end up doing. So yeah, this hopefully gives you all a better idea of what all is going on. Once all of the modeling for all of these parts and pieces is done, then I will be able to start texturing and making it look awesome, because right now it looks kind of trash. But we have lots and lots to do. Again, I'm out farming by the time you guys see this, so hopefully you like the video. If you'd like to support this project, again, my Patreon is linked down below. This does not give you access to anything. I think that the post for the only tier that I have is you're basically going to give my ferrets some treats and some toys. That's it. You don't get special access. You're not getting anything early. You're not signing up to be a tester. You're not getting anything. It's simply to help support me making this tractor. That's it. I don't like paywalls. We'll never have paywalls anywhere. I don't do that. So, yeah. There we go, guys. That's it for me. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little video showcasing everything that I've been working on, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.